So everybody, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Real Estate Social Rockstar Show. Today, we are going to be talking about how to jumpstart your real estate career in under 90 freaking days. And the person who's going to share with us these pearls of wisdom and how to do that is none other than J Philip Faranda, who is the broker owner of J Philip Real Estate. J, thanks for joining us on the show.
Well, do you know why it's 90 days?
No, actually, I don't, because you told me.
I can't count any higher.
Oh, you can't count any higher? Bill, thank you so much for being on the show with us. So that everybody knows a little bit about you. First of all, just let me tell everybody here, I've known Phil now for, I don't know, maybe it's 2 years now, a little less than 2 years, something like that. And I've learned a lot from him. We both get involved with a lot of different real estate, learning and educational programs, and it's been my honor. So it's now super honor for me to have you on the show. Would you mind just telling everybody a little bit about yourself?
Okay, so I live in Westchester County, New York. I run a small independent brokerage with 3 offices and about 70 agents. I started the firm in 2005, about 18 months before the market started to crash. And that's not great timing, but I now am, running 3 offices, working on starting a 4th. We are the largest true independent in our market. And I have 4 kids. I have a big rescue German Shepherd. I'm engaged to an awesome woman, and I'm a pretty lucky guy.
You're pretty much what?
I'm a pretty lucky guy.
Pretty lucky guy. Well, you're
pretty
also a hilarious guy that everybody's about to experience your humor. So guys, brace yourselves. Your firm's growing ridiculously. So one of the reasons I was excited to have you on the show is I hear, first of all, you like to keep it real. You don't BS. I've sat on panels with you where you've said things that are not always even the most popular thing to say, but you just say it because it's honest. And that's why I love you, man. You keep it real. So when I asked you what is something that you want to share with real estate agents out there, and you said, well, I really love to share and teach agents how they can grow and jumpstart their career in 90 days. I was like, wow, okay, so this is not going to be just a hoorah, like, oh, go do it, but you're going to be delivering some great tips. So I'm super excited to hear it. And so let me just ask you this. So, you got an agent that's, let's start off with an agent that's just starting in the business, new to real estate. They're starting out. People are telling them to buy Zillow leads. People are telling them to go door knock. People are telling them to cold call. I don't know. They're getting all these different things from a million different people. What do you suggest an agent does when they start their career? How should they attack this?
Well, I think putting a square peg in a round hole is a great way to ruin the agent's beginning and quite possibly derail their career. So if they're not comfortable, for example, with cold calling, then they shouldn't be cold calling. And if they don't like to write, then blogging isn't the thing for them, right? So you got to find out where their strength is. You also have to find out what their goals are and figure out a plan how to achieve the goals, okay? So whether they're a raw rookie agent who's never sold a house, or they're an agent that's joined our firm and they want to increase their income, we want to get them from point A to point B. So there's kind of 4 domains to dwell in. There's the digital world, which you and I are in right now. We're in the matrix. There's the analog world, which is when we are in the same room together, right? There's prospecting, which is the generation of anonymous strangers who will hopefully gain our trust. And there's our sphere, people that already know us, people that already like us, people that already trust us, who may not necessarily be ready to buy or sell a home. So we've got to mix and match those 4 domains and find out where they can best find their niche. And I do believe that for an agent to get their business jump-started is they have to find a niche. When the market crashed in 2008 and 9, I had a choice. I could have figured out how to work bank-owned foreclosures, Or I could have done short sales. They're two different style transactions. Both are distressed, but one, you're kind of working for the devil, right? You're working for the bank and you're knocking on people's door the day before Thanksgiving and telling them they're evicted. Or you're doing a short sale where you're kind of helping them exit with dignity.
Mm-hmm.
And I was more into that. So short sales were a niche that I worked, and it kind of kept the company in business. So I got late into my career, more into working my sphere. So I would encourage any agent that is looking to grow their business or is new to the business to work their sphere very rigorously. And what is your sphere? Your sphere is your friends, your family, your past clients if you've already done some business, people that already know you. It could be a networking group. It could be the Chamber of Commerce. It could be any place where you're interacting with people whose trust is not a hurdle to overcome, who will think of you first when they need to buy or sell property. So,
so let me ask you about let me ask you about that a little bit, because sure. I'm trying to put myself in the head of a new agent, and they're starting out, and I guess they can make a list of people they know, family, friends, relatives, but
yeah,
you know, chances are these people that they know aren't looking necessarily to buy, rent, or sell today. Maybe they are or are not in the exact location where they're selling. So how did they go about taking this like list of names and turn that into business in 90 days? How do they get that to translate into a sale?
Well, here's what you don't do. You don't do what they did in the 80s, which is make 100 index cards and go dialing for dollars and tell them, I just got my real estate license and please think of me when you want to buy or sell real estate. Because that translates to, hi, I'm a rookie and I want to cut my teeth on the largest financial event of your life. Can I make all my mistakes on you? So what you want to do is you want to be of value. Okay. So how can you be of value as a new licensee? A good start would be starting a blog, keeping people apprised of community events, downloading the Homekeeper app and giving it to your sphere. The Homekeeper app, by the way, is a phenomenal tool for keeping in touch with your sphere in a branded way, which gives them your Rolodex. So instead of saying, hi, I'm a new agent and I want to cut my teeth on you, you can say, I just put my real estate license with Meier International Realty, and I know that you from time to time are going to need an electrician, an estate attorney, different types of people in different professions. I have a phenomenal list of vetted, qualified people that I already know and trust that I can give you, and I'll give it to you for free. Just put it on your phone. And that way, if you call me and you can't reach me, it's already in there. And that way they have your Rolodex. And it's branded, and it is value without a solicitation. So
that's a good one.
Being top of mind is kind of a big deal. So another way to be top of mind, and this is in the digital world, is to have a robust Facebook fan page or Facebook business page. What we're doing right now is we're giving good content, I hope, knock on wood, right? On our respective business pages, so that the people that rub shoulders with us will think of us top of mind when they want to buy or sell real estate. Something in the analog world, in the sphere world, belly to belly, might be getting involved with the chamber, might be getting into a business networking group, masterminds, something like that, where you continue to foster relationships of people that are looking to swap referrals. That's a phenomenal way, by the way, of getting referrals going, is joining a networking group. So that's a good place for a rookie to start. But all of it would be in conjunction with, do some prospecting, invest in your business. Yeah, I absolutely buy some Zillow leads, buy some Trulia leads. Respond quickly, respond enthusiastically, be on your game, put them into your database so that if they're not ready to buy right now, they'll think of you when they are. So you kind of got to chew gum and breathe, but those are things that put skin in the game, I would say.
Those are really, really good things. I love the giving value on that initial call when you reach out to somebody and not solicit them, but give value to them. That's
Absolutely.
great. So,
absolutely.
So trying to construct, almost a day-by-day, week-by-week plan for new agents. So they jump into the business. They should right away go pick something that they want to go. If they're a networking type of person, if they're comfortable talking to people face-to-face in large groups of crowds, go join a networking group. That's going to be one opportunity, right? Go to one once a week, once a month, whatever you can fit into your schedule.
Yep.
Second thing that you're saying is call all the people that are in your list of contacts that you know and offer some value to them, like referral key. Could be one thing that you can offer a value to them.
Right.
And that could be something that's great. What if you're calling people that are outside of your market? Is there anything that you think that comes to mind that you could say this would be a value? Like, let's say you move from Florida to, just tell everybody what markets you work in. That's a good idea here, first of all.
Okay, so I'm in Westchester County.
Right.
We cover actually about 5 counties. So we cover Westchester, our neighboring counties of Fairfield, Rockland, Putnam, Dutchess, and Orange. Actually, one of our offices is in Putnam, and we have a tremendous market share in Putnam. And Putnam is that little 6-town county right north of Westchester County. We do a little work in some of the outer boroughs, but our real meat and potatoes is Westchester and Putnam. So here's something I did years ago, and it's still getting me business. And that is, I used to go into Manhattan, and I used to network with Manhattan real estate brokers. And I just sort of planted in their mind that, hey, if you ever have anybody that wants to move upstate, have them talk to me. So I remember buying a paper ad, which, I'm not a big advocate of paper, but this worked in this time, in the Long Island Board of Realtors newspaper, saying, send your upstate referrals to me. Now, I don't consider Westchester upstate, but I know in Long Island they do. So that got us some traction down there. So we started swapping referrals with some Long Island companies, Queens companies, and everything like that. So that's one thing. But networking with real estate professionals in neighboring markets is a phenomenal way of getting your name out and getting business from people that don't want to drive an hour to work in your market. So if someone says to you, Michael, and I hope they say it to you a lot, hey, I want to move to Briarcliff Manor, I'd like to think that you and people like you say, call Phil. Him or one of his buyer agents will help you find a great place. And that's the sort of thing we do.
That's cool. And it's funny. So one of the ways we know each other is we were in the T3 Fellows group together.
Yes.
And I got a referral from that group, from another agent in that group, referred me to a client, and we closed the deal recently. So it's also, that was an example of a networking thing where I went to a networking event with brokers. Agents can go to plenty of networking events. We both are very involved with Inman now. And that's another opportunity for people to go to Inman. I know Inman's coming to New York in a couple of months. So another opportunity for agents, at least in our marketplace, and I'm sure yours too, to kind of get together, meet other agents, connect with them, and get referrals in that way. It's interesting. Sorry.
So I'll say something about the digital world.
Yes.
It's very passive, but also very effective. Anybody that's a new agent or has just changed affiliations, like if you just joined my firm or your firm, one of the things I would advise them is to get out there, Google yourself, even if it's during Lent, Google yourself and find out where you're showing up in the search engines. Like, for example, if you find your old Zillow profile, does it still have your old company? Does it have the market that you're working in now? So get on Zillow, get on Trulia, get on Active Rain, update your Facebook fan page, update your YouTube channel, update every piece of your digital assets that are out there so that when people Google you, the message that you control, because you control your online message. Nobody else does. Google doesn't control it. They're just the reporter, right? They're not the weather. You're the weather. So update your digital assets so that when people Google you, they're like, wow, I got to work with this person. This person is on top of their game. Wow, look at this description. Look at their accolades. Look at their experience. Look at all the recommendations. Look at the reviews that their clients have left them. Because this has happened to agents. I think any agent can relate to this, and I think consumers can relate to this. You meet an agent as a consumer. You go home. They seem nice. You Google them. And like there's this outline of a head where their face should be. And they gave you their card and it says J Philip Real Estate, but they look on some online thing and it says they're with, you know, Wojciechowicz Realty Group. And you're like, if they don't pay this much attention to their own business, how are they going to pay attention to my considerable, stressful transaction that I'm nervous about? So then what they do is they kind of ghost the agent, right? So you meet these people, you're in love, you think you've picked up a new client, and then you never hear from them again. They ghosted you. Why? Because they Googled you and something spooked them. Yeah, right? And in their travels, they found another agent who's got their act together online, and they went with that agent.
Gotcha. Good tip, everybody. Google yourselves. That's really great.
And act on what you find.
So to sum up some of the things you've said so far, you talked about your digital footprint, so to speak. That's what you're just talking about right now, right?
Absolutely.
And you talked about the analog part of things. And what was the analog again? How did you describe the analog?
Well, analog, you know, so analog is like real prospecting. Analog is not something you're doing online. It's going to a chamber meeting. It is sending out a just listed or a just sold postcard. It is making a phone call if need be to let people know that there's an open house in your neck of the woods. And do you know anybody that might want a house like your neighbor's, which just went on the market? It's pressing the flesh, as we say, with people that you know. It's talking with people that you know. There's a mixture of analog and digital in our life. If I say to you, hey, Michael, I just affiliated with Meier International Realty, and would you be nice enough to like my Facebook page? I'm trying to beef up my likes. Right? Now, you're nowhere near buying or selling, right?
Yeah.
But you know what? You know me. I'm a nice enough guy. Sure, I'll like your Facebook page. So then you subscribe to my Facebook page. And then, lo and behold, what happens? 18 months from now, you're expecting another baby. Twins, as a matter of fact. You need a bigger place. And you know what? You've been kind of stalking me a little bit on my Facebook business page because some of the stuff I post is a little bit funny. Some of it's a little irreverent. Actually, you don't know what I'm going to say next. But you know what? You've decided that you're going to make the jump. You need a bigger place. And you know what? I should call Phil. He's probably the guy I should call. Boom. So that's kind of the marriage of analog and digital. So, you know, they're not mutually exclusive. Some connect with the others.
Do you give agents like any kind of parameters, like, I don't know, here are the number of contacts you need to make, or the number of networking events you need to go to, or the number of contacts in your sphere list, or how many impressions on Zillow? I mean, how do you manage an agent's expectations when they come in? Because a lot of them, they come in and they don't really know what enough is. And usually what they think is enough is usually not enough. So I'm curious how do you guide agents to that? How do you deal with that?
Well, it's a function of goals too, really, because if the agent is someone who wants to make $500,000, that is going to be a different goal and plan from an agent that just wants to do a few deals a year to supplement their income, right? So if you're in the grandparent business, but you have had your real estate license for a while and you just want to be cutting edge and do a few deals a year, which we're fine with, as long as you do a good job, then you're going to be different from someone who's got 3 kids, 3 college educations, a retirement, and they really need to get going and pay off their student loans. So if we have to work backwards from your goal. So if your goal is a certain income, then you're probably going to need a database of several hundred people who have you top of mind, which doesn't happen overnight. So you got to contact your past book of business and stay in touch with them. You've got to contact all of your friends and relatives. You have to have a sane, sustainable, manageable prospecting plan, which takes into account some niche markets. And, what are some niche markets? Because people watching this might say, well, wait a minute, I don't want to do short sales, or there's no short sales in my market. Well, what about divorces? What about estate sales? What about vacant homes? What about inherited homes? What about seniors? What about those sorts of things that they don't talk about in real estate class, right? They don't talk about those niches in your licensure course. So we get agency, we get all these things, but we don't talk about actual niches in the market. So if you want to work, for example, divorces, some people might say, well, why would you work a divorce? Well, because they have to sell. And it's stressful, but it's stressful anyway, no matter what, because it's a big transaction in people's life. So if you're going to work divorces, what do you need? Well, you need to work a lot of divorce attorneys, right? Or you need to get on Tinder, right? I would work divorce attorneys, though. Okay. So I would network and familiarize myself with divorce attorneys. All right. Estate attorneys, CPAs, tax preparers. And these people, some of them don't get approached very often by real estate brokers and might be very open to going to lunch with you. Some of them get solicited all the time. And you know what? Move on. Just go to the next one. They're not the last divorce attorney. There's others. There's another one. Go to B in the phone book, then sit, it's fine. Right? So those niches, every single one of them, you can ask to do the same thing. Give them the Homekeeper app. You can ask them to like your Facebook page. You can connect to them on LinkedIn. You can ask them to subscribe to your blog if you have a blog. By the way, blogging is not as hard as people say. It really is not that hard. This is a vlog that we're doing. Right? So those
just
are
so everybody knows, Philip was like big in the blogging world. Before I knew him, you were like king of it, and I imagine that you're still quite involved. But these days, I hear you speaking a lot, and it's lucky enough for me that I can I can get you in this way. But I know that this was you built a ton of connections through blogging.
Yeah, I have. Blogging, how I met my fiance, so it's pretty good stuff. But you don't have to be a content creating machine. You don't have to be an English major with a thesis to write every day. You can just curate regular things. You can link to articles. You can post a picture. Pictures and videos are just, as video is huge. I mean, video is incredibly effective, right?
Yeah.
So here we're walking through a great kitchen. You can look at the view. I mean, there's all kinds of things that if you think about it, if you're on top of things, that you can curate out to the public.
That's
there
fantastic.
you go.
So if you're a new agent starting, or at this point an experienced agent, it doesn't really matter. And I'm looking at all these different things that you've just shared with me. Now you've shared a lot, right? From everything from CPAs to divorce attorneys to people dealing with will and estates to going to networking events and meeting people there, to reaching out to your sphere and telling them about the Homekeeper app. You've given me a lot to work with here, right? When you look at the successful agents that you've seen that have built really good careers, that have really taken, that are successful, Do you find that they do everything? Do you find that they find a few? Is everybody work differently? Just curious. You've been doing this a long time. I'd love to tap into what you and of course you yourself. uh, big production as well.
Okay, the agents with a good body of work. Sue Adler comes to mind in my own market. Mark Seiden, Mark Boyland, several others. There is a common thread, and that is, and this goes without saying, but I'll say it anyway. They take phenomenal care of their clients, and they stay in touch with their clients. So the longer you're in the industry and the longer you build your book of past closings, the more people you stay in touch with and keep them in your posse, as it were. So that is a common thing that any successful agent that I've seen does. They stay in touch with past clients, and they do a good job of staying top of mind with their past closings. So Nancy Kennedy's another good one. Nancy Kennedy, who's one of the top agents in Westchester County, has told me at a lunch and learn a couple of years ago that she devotes a chunk of every day to picking up the phone and calling past clients just to say hello. That is her prospecting. She doesn't need to buy Zillow leads at this point. She has hundreds and hundreds and thousands of closings that are just a referral volcano for a good agent once they have gotten scale, once they've reached critical mass. And we've had agents in our firm go from, less than $1 million to over 5, sometimes 10 million year over year, just by having a little good luck and by being on top of their past book of business and doing some of the things that we're talking about. So we're very proud of the track record. And
yeah, you guys are killing it. It's great.
Knock on wood, Michael, but it's working. It's working. And it's just, I didn't invent any of this. I'm reporting. I'm just telling you the news.
I like that. I'm reporting. I like that. Well, it takes a very wise reporter to know what news is worth sharing. So,
yeah, tell that to the mainstream media.
Cool. Well, Philip, I think you've given a ton here, really a ton here. And for those agents that are either listening to this or are watching this, or will be watching this later, I really think that each of you guys should digest all of the different things that Philip has shared. Think about what area you want to focus on, what area you want to tackle, and ultimately, I'm sure Philip would agree, it's about being consistent at these things. So if you go to one networking party, it's not going to work out. And if you get lucky with the deal, you got lucky. You hit the lottery. It shouldn't happen. So yeah, go buy a lottery ticket that day. But other than that, you have a variety of ways of doing things. And if you want to make these things work in 90 days, right? That's just 3 months. It's not a long period of time. You're going to have to work really, really hard at a lot of these things because you don't know where that deal is going to come from. But if you work sweat and tear for 90 days at all of these different angles, you're going to find something. But if you work a little bit at all of them, you're probably not going to find something.
If you do it for 90 days, what I'm talking about, in another year from now, you will not recognize yourself. You just won't recognize yourself. We went in 3 years, 4 years, 3.5, 4 years, from a $16 million company to an $85 million company.
Wow.
So, and that's just by me figuring some of this stuff out from other successful brokers, getting focused and helping the agents that worked for me make more money. And if for the brokers out there who are concerned about attrition, agents that are doing well very seldom look on the other side of the fence. Truly, they very seldom. You'll have very low attrition, which we all want.
Yeah.
Well, low attrition.
We definitely want low attrition. Cool. Well, Phil, thank you so much. I don't think there's anything else really for you to add here because you've added it all. If you have anything, please do. But regardless, if agents want to reach out to you, brokers want to reach out to you, people want to refer you business, or just want to get some of your feedback, what would be the best way for people to reach you?
Company website is jphilip.com. And my email address is really easy to remember. It's jphilip@jphilip.com. Really not that hard to remember. Or you can pick up the phone, give me a ring, 914-450-8883. Text me, call me, whatever. This has been fun. I feel like it's a notch in my belt that I've appeared with you now. This is very cool, I have to say.
Thank you so much for agreeing to be on the show. You're an inspiration, and seeing you guys grow is phenomenal. And I know that even in terms of, I've seen your business where you were doing a lot of production, and now your agents are doing a lot of production, and it's so cool to see someone be able to take what they've done that's successful and get other people's to do it. That's really that's the dream. So it's really nice to see you helping others out and helping everyone out that's going to be watching the show. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. If anybody wants to connect with me, of course, this is Michael Meier. This is the Real Estate Social Rockstar Show. You can reach me on Facebook, Michael Meier. You can reach me on Snap, Michael Meier NYC. And you can just go to meierrealestate.com. See you all later. Thank you very much. Thank you, Philip, and thank you for being on the show.
Thank you.
Bye.